Some eagles can shatter bone with less force than it takes you to crack an egg. Others have been caught on camera knocking a full-grown man flat on his back. And somewhere in the highlands of Ethiopia, there's an eagle that survives on almost nothing but one small, furry, rock-dwelling creature. And that single obsession has turned it into one of the most efficient killers in the sky. Today we are ranking all 27 recognized eagle species on the planet, from the weakest to the most terrifyingly powerful. Grip strength, hunting style, prey size, body mass, dive speed, all of it counts toward the final ranking. Number 27 might genuinely shock you, and the bird sitting at number 1 is probably not the one you already have pictured in your head. Stick around until the end, because the gap between the top 3 is closer than you think, and one bird on this list has actually been recorded pulling a fish out of the water that weighed more than the eagle itself. Let's start at the very bottom. Number 27, the crested serpent eagle. Found scattered across South and Southeast Asia, this bird runs about 20 to 29 inches long with a wingspan just short of 5.5 feet. It is not built for muscle, and it never really needed to be. Its entire career is built around snakes and lizards, and it hunts them with patience instead of force, sitting motionless on a branch for hours until something below makes a fatal mistake. Smart strategy, weak punch. Out of 27 eagles, this one has the smallest impact by almost every measure. But it is thriving anyway. Listed as a species of least concern, proof that survival was never only about strength. Sometimes the smartest move in nature is simply picking a fight you already know you can win. Number 26, the booted eagle. Native to Europe, Asia, and Africa, this is a genuinely tiny eagle, barely 22 inches from head to tail, wearing feathered legs that look like a pair of little boots, which is exactly where the name comes from. It snatches small birds, reptiles, and even insects out of the air, rarely tangling with anything that could fight back. This is not a fighter, it is a gymnast, twisting through gaps in the canopy that heavier, clumsier eagles could never squeeze through. Speed and agility over strength every single time. It barely registers on any raw power scale, but ask it to squeeze through a gap the size of a doorway at full speed, and nothing else on this list can follow. Number 25, Wallace's hawk eagle. This rare rainforest hunter from Southeast Asia was named after the naturalist who nearly beat Charles Darwin to the discovery of evolution. It ambushes small mammals, birds, and reptiles from hidden perches deep inside dense jungle cover, striking fast and vanishing just as quickly. The forest hides it perfectly, and that camouflage is really its only weapon. Strip away the cover and put it beside the true heavyweights on this list, and it simply does not have the mass or muscle to compete, no matter how well it disappears into the trees. Number 24, the rufous-bellied eagle. Easy to spot thanks to its reddish-brown underbelly, this forest dweller from South and Southeast Asia hunts almost entirely on speed, snatching birds directly out of the air mid-flight or ripping them straight off branches before they even register the threat. Fast reflexes, sharp instincts, but a small frame that caps how much force it can actually generate. No matter how sharp the attack looks, the power ceiling stays low, and it simply does not have the frame to challenge anything bigger. Number 23, the lesser spotted eagle. This bird migrates thousands of miles between Europe and Africa every single year, and that brutal journey defines it far more than any single kill ever could. It survives on rodents, amphibians, insects, and the occasional bird along the way, a varied but undemanding menu. This is an endurance athlete built for distance flight, not a brawler built for overpowering large prey. Stamina wins over raw strength here, and covering that much distance twice a year takes a completely different kind of toughness. Number 22, the tawny eagle. Spread across Africa and parts of Asia, this bird has a reputation problem, because half the time it is not even hunting for itself. It scavenges carrion whenever it can find it, and steals food straight out of the talons of other birds without much shame at all. Opportunistic, adaptable, resourceful, but not exactly feared out on the savannah. Why waste energy fighting for a meal when you can just take one that somebody else already caught? It is proof that in the wild, brains and boldness can matter just as much as brute strength. Number 21, the gray-headed fish eagle. Found along rivers and wetlands across South and Southeast Asia, this bird makes its living pulling fish off the surface of the water in one clean, precise swoop. Occasionally it grabs a reptile or a small mammal for variety when the fishing runs dry. Reliable, consistent, patient, but fish do not exactly fight back once they're airborne, and that alone keeps this eagle firmly out of the upper tier of raw power, no matter how graceful its hunting technique looks from a distance. Coming in at number 20, the greater spotted eagle. A migratory wetland specialist from Europe and Asia, this eagle eats small mammals, amphibians, reptiles, and whatever carrion it can scavenge when times get tough. It relies heavily on wetland habitats for both hunting and nesting. It is a genuinely capable predator, sure, but nothing in its hunting record comes close to the eagles further up this list that are casually taking down monkeys and antelope, and its numbers are slowly declining as wetland habitats continue to shrink. Number 19, the changeable hawk eagle. Named for the fact that it comes in both light and dark color forms, this Southeast Asian hunter drops out of hidden perches in sudden, violent ambushes on birds, small mammals, and reptiles below. It hits hard and fast for its size, faster than almost anything else its weight class, which is exactly why it leapfrogs several bigger but lazier hunters on this list. Size alone never tells the whole story. Number 18, Bonelli's eagle. Found across southern Europe, Africa, and parts of Asia, this bird chases down fast-flying pigeons and partridges through open air, while also grabbing rabbits directly off the ground. Catching a pigeon mid-flight takes real speed, timing, and coordination, and this eagle has all three in spades. It genuinely fights above its weight class, and few birds its size can match its aerial pursuit skills, chasing prey through obstacles most predators would simply give up on. Number 17, the Asian black eagle. This forest hunter from South and Southeast Asia has a strange specialty, raiding the nests of other birds for eggs and defenseless chicks. That takes stealth and precision, flying far more than raw physical force, gliding low and slow over the canopy for long stretches until it finds a target that never even noticed it coming. A smart hunter, but not one built around strength. Number 16, the mountain hawk eagle. A serious predator from the mountainous forests of Asia, this bird hunts birds, mammals, and reptiles through dense, tangled terrain where most predators would get hopelessly stuck. It carries real muscle behind every dive, capable of fast, controlled attacks through tight tree cover. And in parts of its range, local hunters have long respected it as one of the toughest birds living in the hills, a reputation earned across generations of watching it hunt. Number 15, the Spanish imperial eagle. Endangered and found almost exclusively on the Iberian Peninsula, this bird lives mostly on rabbits, supplemented by birds, reptiles, and carrion whenever the hunting gets thin. It needs enormous stretches of territory to survive as a breeding pair, and it hunts using a mix of slow, patient soaring, followed by sudden, sharp, committed dives once prey is spotted below. Conservationists have worked for decades to keep this species from disappearing entirely, and its numbers are finally climbing again. If you are enjoying this countdown so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, because we are only just past the halfway mark and the birds coming up next are on a completely different level of terrifying. Drop a comment telling me which eagle has surprised you the most so far, and let's keep climbing toward the champion. Number 14, the Eastern Imperial Eagle. Spread across Eastern Europe and Asia, this bird targets ground squirrels, hares, birds, and carrion across wide open plains and grassland where it can spot movement from an enormous distance away. Its frame runs slightly heavier than its Spanish cousin overall, giving it a small but real edge in pure physical power between the two closely related species, even though the two birds look almost identical at a glance. Number 13, Pallas's fish eagle. A large and increasingly rare bird found across Central and South Asia, this eagle pulls fish out of big rivers and lakes with real force, occasionally taking water birds or scavenging carrion when opportunities allow. Its considerable size puts it ahead of most other fish hunting eagles on this list, and it genuinely needs every ounce of that bulk, because some of the fish it targets are not small at all, and pulling one out of moving river current takes far more strength than most people would ever assume. Number 12, the steppe eagle, a long-distance migrant crossing Central Asia, Eastern Europe, and parts of Africa every year. The largest females can top 11 pounds in weight. Ground squirrels and small mammals make up most of the daily menu, but during migration, this bird will eat almost anything it can find along the way, carrion included. That extra weight adds real force behind every strike, and during migration season these eagles gather by the hundreds, riding the exact same wind currents across entire continents together, forming one of the largest raptor migrations anywhere on Earth. Number 11, the African fish eagle. Instantly recognizable by its bright white head and its unmistakable, haunting call, the one you have almost certainly heard in countless nature documentaries. This bird snatches fish off the water in a precise, low swoop, but it is strong enough to take birds and small mammals whenever the opportunity presents itself. Pairs call back and forth across rivers in a sound many people closely associate with the entire spirit of the African wilderness, and that call has been used in countless films to signal that you have officially arrived somewhere wild. Number 10, the bald eagle. The national symbol of the United States, this bird is world famous for fishing, but it is just as well known for harassing and robbing other birds of their catch in mid-flight, a habit with the official scientific name kleptoparasitism, which is really just a fancy way of saying it is a bully with wings. It can dive at speeds between 75 and 100 miles per hour when hunting, and that speed alone turns every single hit into serious, bone-rattling blunt force. Despite the reputation, this bird is not always the fearsome hunter people imagine, and it will happily eat a dead fish washed up on shore if the chase looks like too much effort. Number 9, Verreaux's eagle, also known as the black eagle. This African mountain specialist has built its entire existence around one single prey animal, the rock hyrax, and it is strong enough to carry one several pounds heavy all the way back up to a cliffside nest. Specializing this hard sounds risky on paper, but this bird has turned it into a razor-sharp, finely tuned killing method, and pairs often hunt in coordinated teams, one flushing the hyrax into the open while the other strikes from above. This kind of coordinated teamwork is rare among birds of prey, and it shows a level of hunting intelligence most people never associate with eagles at all. Number 8, the wedge-tailed eagle. The largest bird of prey in all of Australia, this eagle can carry a wingspan pushing past 9 feet across in the biggest recorded females, and it hunts rabbits, small mammals, birds, and carrion across the outback. It is strong enough to lift prey close to its own body weight straight off the ground in a single effort. That wingspan alone makes it a genuinely intimidating sight, gliding low and silent over the open outback landscape. And farmers across rural Australia have long told stories about these birds circling for hours without a single wing beat. Number 7, the golden eagle. Found across the entire northern hemisphere, this bird regularly hunts rabbits, hares, and ground squirrels without much trouble. But it has also been documented on multiple occasions taking down foxes and young deer far larger than itself. It can dive at speeds beyond 150 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest animals alive during a stoop. And that velocity converts directly into devastating, bone-crushing impact on whatever it strikes. Ancient cultures across the northern hemisphere have honored this bird as a symbol of raw power for thousands of years, and modern falconers still consider it one of the most formidable hunting partners on the planet. Number 6, the white-tailed eagle. A massive sea eagle from Europe and Asia, the largest females can weigh close to 15 pounds fully grown. Fish make up most of its diet, but it regularly takes birds, small mammals, and carrion as well, and it has earned a strong reputation for stealing meals from other predators through pure size and intimidation alone. In parts of Europe, locals have nicknamed it the flying barn door, and once you actually see one gliding low over a lake, you understand exactly why that name stuck. Conservation efforts across Scotland and Scandinavia have helped this species claw its way back from near extinction in the region. Number 5, the Martial eagle. Africa's largest eagle by far, with a wingspan stretching past 8 feet and females weighing up to 14 pounds at their heaviest. Its name literally translates to warlike, and the reputation is fully earned. There are documented, verified accounts of this bird knocking a full-grown man completely off his feet and taking down young antelope far bigger than itself. It hunts across open savanna where there is nowhere at all to hide, relying entirely on raw speed and overwhelming force the instant it commits to an attack. Farmers in parts of Africa have long feared this bird for its willingness to strike livestock, and stories about its raw aggression have circulated for generations. Number 4, the crowned eagle. A forest-dwelling powerhouse from sub-Saharan Africa, this bird has a noticeably smaller wingspan than most of the birds ranked above it, but do not let that fool you for a second. It is widely considered the single strongest eagle relative to its size anywhere on the entire planet. It routinely takes down monkeys and small antelope weighing up to 4 times its own body weight, using a strike and wait method, hit hard enough to injure severely, then patiently track the prey until it can no longer run or fight back. Researchers digging through old nest sites in Africa have even uncovered remains belonging to human ancestors. A chilling detail that tells you everything you need to know about how this bird truly earned its name. Pound for pound, many researchers rank this as the single deadliest bird of prey alive today, and its call alone is enough to send troops of monkeys scattering through the canopy in a panic. Number 3, Steller's sea eagle, the single heaviest eagle on the entire planet, with the largest females tipping the scale at up to 20 pounds. Its massive orange beak is built specifically to tear into large salmon, and this bird is strong enough to rip a fish weighing several pounds straight out of the water in one single explosive motion. Pure mass gives it an advantage that faster, lighter, more agile eagles simply cannot match in a straight head-to-head contest of raw power. Native fishermen along the coast where it lives have watched it wrestle, catches away from otters and even young bears without hesitation. Number 2, the Philippine eagle, one of the rarest and most critically endangered birds of prey on the entire planet, found only in the dense forests of the Philippines, with the largest females reaching up to 18 pounds. Locals call it the monkey-eating eagle, and that nickname is entirely accurate. It hunts monkeys, flying lemurs, civets, and large birds straight through thick rainforest canopy, with talons strong enough to pierce fur and muscle in a single crushing grip. It is also widely considered the largest eagle alive today in terms of overall body length and total wing surface area combined. Sadly, fewer than a few hundred breeding pairs are believed to survive in the wild, making every single sighting of this bird a genuine event. Number 1, the Harpy eagle, the single most powerful eagle on the entire planet, found deep in the lowland rainforests of Central and South America, with the largest recorded females tipping the scale well past 20 pounds. Here is exactly what separates it from every other bird on this entire list. Its talons are roughly the size of a grizzly bear's claws, and its grip strength can crush straight through bone almost instantly. It can lift prey equal to or even heavier than its own body weight straight up into the forest canopy, and its main targets, monkeys and sloths, are not exactly easy or defenseless meals. Other eagles dive faster, some weigh more, some have wider wings stretched out, but when it comes down to pure crushing, gripping, prey-snatching power, absolutely nothing flying today comes anywhere close to the Harpy eagle. Scientists who study this bird up close have compared its leg thickness to that of a small child's wrist, and a single strike from those talons can end a fight before it even begins. And that is all 27 eagle species, ranked completely from the smallest snake hunter at the very bottom all the way up to the rainforest heavyweight champion that can pluck a full-grown monkey off a branch like it weighs nothing at all. If your personal favorite eagle landed lower than you expected, that is not an insult to the bird itself. Plenty of these species survive perfectly well through speed, patience, or extreme specialization instead of relying on raw strength, and every single one of them has figured out its own way to win in a world that never hands out easy victories. Tell me down in the comments which eagle surprised you the absolute most, and which bird you honestly think deserves a higher spot on this entire list. And if you made it all the way here to the end, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now, because there is a lot more like this on the way very soon. From the patient snake hunters at the bottom of this list to the bone-crushing rainforest kings at the top, one thing is clear: power in nature comes in far more forms than most people ever stop to consider. And every single one of these 27 birds has earned its place in the sky.